Hello, I am Pam, and this is my channel, Made by Pam. So, today is Friday. You know, another Friday has gone by. Jeez, so quick. So, it's Friday, It's Friday, January 26, 2024. I almost said February, I don't know why. Because February's next week. Alright, so what have I been working on this week? Well, I only got one thing finished, obviously. It was Simplicity 8418, the bomber jacket. And I finished this one that I was working on, little stripies, because last week I did the fish bomber jacket. This week I did this one. Doesn't that look cool? And then I just used some white Sherpa stuff in the inside that I got from Walmart. And then I added some like inside pockets. And then I used like some cotton, but just line the pocket. And then it's got the side seam pockets also. And that I just used regular, the same fabric. But yeah. So this one, I think I got a little discouraged. I don't know. But yeah, it's nice and cozy and will keep me warm. It's got the zipper. The zipper's a little bit different than the last zipper I used. But this one's like more for lightweight fabrics, like it is. So yeah. See? Wasn't that nice? I think it turned out really good. Alright. So, that is the one thing I finished this week. Last week, I watched Dee Dee from Dee Dee Willingham, and she was doing a live. Well, that's what she does. She does lives, okay? And she showed a book, a coloring book that she got. And I had to take down the information and order one for myself. So thank you so much, Dee Dee. Look how cute those pictures are, though. Seriously. Isn't that cool? And so I ordered it off of Amazon. And basically, they print out your copy. So there's not like a whole bunch of copies laying around. They print out your copy and assemble it and mail it to you. And they do their print date. Like this one says the 18th of January. But also while I was looking for that, I was looking at other ones too. And I saw this one. And this is like printed from the same company. You know, January 18th. And this one has a black side on one page and then the different pictures. And this one I ordered 2 of. I was going to try to order 2 of these, but then it didn't work and I clicked pay and then realized that it didn't put the 2 on there that I had put on there. But I did get 2 of these ones and I gave 1 of these to my daughter. Alright. And then there's one other book that I got because it just spoke to me. A little doggy coloring book. Look at those cute photos. Look how cute they are. And this one was also printed on the same day. So they all are printed by the same company. They say different, you know, but it's You can tell. I was put it in Las Vegas, Nevada. Alright. So then earlier this week, okay, so last week I went out to dinner with some friends, and then someone tried calling me and saying, hey, I got some books for you, and I wasn't home, of course. And so earlier this week they brought the books by, and of course they gave me a little bag with it. But they had a bunch of craft books that they went through and decided that they would gift me with them. So I have, look how many, isn't that cool? So yeah, just a bunch of books, some cross-stitch books, like this, a cross-stitcher, and it's like got a little, got other stuff in there too, but it's like a little folder. Another little cross-stitch. And then this is like one of those dough decoration books, like how to make the little dough figurines or whatever. Yeah. And there's some Christmas. And this is like a crochet. Yeah, knitting, crochet, and fiber arts. This one is how to make a little city out of felted animals. Felted people with felt. And this is doll making and quilting. The patchworthy apparel. So you can... Oh, cool. Look, it's got a little paper doll thing. Isn't that cool? Because we talk a lot about paper dolls and stuff in different groups. But yeah, I just saw that. I didn't see that before, but I just saw it then. And then patterns. So it's got a bunch of different patterns for some different things and whatnot. It says country calico, like applique, pattern design type stuff that you can do and put in. Classic quilted vest. Quick quilts on your own sewing machine. Like how to shop for ready-made quilt tops, how to lay out your quilt, how to quilt on your own zigzag sewing machine, and how to make fast bindings. It says, are you afraid of your sewing machine? Most women are. I'm not afraid of mine. But yeah, that might be an interesting... So basically, okay, so this says, we are afraid to move a button or a dial. That is probably why we sit and wait for a repairman to come and adjust our sewing machines if they are not sewing exactly right. Helping you get over the fear of adjusting your sewing machine. To help you get over the fear of adjusting your sewing machine for quilting, you can do two things. Check your machine to find out if it is sewing good. If it is not, you can learn how to adjust it so that it will sew good for regular sewing. Write down the settings of the dials and buttons before you start to adjust it. Then you will not be fearful. If it sews better afterwards, you can use that as your regular setting before you start to set it for sewing machine quilting. And it says, men can go to the moon and back. Surely we should not be afraid to turn a small dial on our sewing machines. But yeah. It says, what is good sewing? Your sewing machine is doing a good job when the top thread meets the bobbin thread, almost exactly in the middle of the fabric. Both threads should have about the same tension when you pull on them. By putting different colored threads on top and bobbin, you can see which one pulls to the opposite side. Usually your machine comes with the bobbin adjusted. Try to adjust the top tension to the bobbin tension. If the bobbin thread makes the top thread come through to the underside of the fabric, you will have to decide whether to tighten the top tension or loosen the bobbin tension. Put a spot of fingernail polish on the bobbin case to show where the little screw is set. Turn it about 1/4 at a time. You can do it! Then it says some basic knowledge of sewing machines. If your sewing machine skips stitches, try changing the size or brand of the needle. Call your dealer about needles. But you really don't have to. You can just look in your book and it will usually tell you what size needles your machine needs. And, you know. But if you have questions, you can call a dealer. Either way. Now, a sewing machine demonstrator uses a piece of crispy material to sew on. Just about any sewing machine will sew well on this type of fabric. Take some of your own fabric with you, soft, knitted, or lightweight. You do the sewing. And it says, I took a quilt, batting, and all and did my own sewing. The machine has to be your own tool. One final hint. When you have your machine set, it may sew well for a while, then change, and not sew properly. Tell your dealer that the machine will not stay in adjustment. Try to do this before the warranty expires. But yeah, it's quite interesting. I think this one will come in really good handy. Don't you think? Alright, and then we've got this. It says Cozy Days and Warm Ways. No, it definitely gets cold outside. Giggles and Goosebumps. The Patchworker's How-To Book. Ideas from Granny's Christmas Cupboard. Another one of those Once Upon a Time. So I got 2 of those. Quiet Time Book and Toys. Which I should make some of these little books and toys for my grandchildren. Because it's not just a quiet time, but it's a learning time. Because they can learn lots from the different things, activities that books have. You know. So I should really make some for my grandkids. The highlighted powwow paintings. There's a bunch of different things. That was Put a Lid on It. And this is Flying Collars. Jungle. Pencil Puppets. Walt Disney Embroidery Transfers. Sesame Street Embroidery Transfers. That's so you can do that and then hand embroider. Yeah. I guess I could get better at that. I think that would be really cool. My grandson loves Sesame Street. Yeah. Alright. It says, Bearing All Seasons and Some Bunny Too. It says Honeybees and Watermelon Seeds. A Sprinkling of Charms. Yeah. A Spooky Thankful, but oh, what fun. Happy Harvest. But yeah, so those I got from a friend. Okay, so my next project. My dad called me. And he's like, do you think you can sew up some cargo pants for me? He's like, I thought about going to the store, but then I thought about you. And I'm like, I think I'd rather have you sew them up. I'm like, okay. So I looked through some patterns and I was like, this pattern is a size 36, but that's not going to be big enough because it needs to be a 42. Then I had this pattern, and this one would be big enough, but it just wasn't what I wanted. So the other day I talked to my sister, because I talked to my sister after I talked to my dad, and we were chatting about stuff, and I mentioned to her about the pants and everything, and we were, just chatting back and forth, and then I was like, that was good talk, because it helped me realize I just needed to ask my dad for a pair, that he was willing to part with, that was wearing out, that would be okay to take apart and make him some new pairs. So yesterday he brought me over a pair. It was such a great idea. So I got a pair here of shorts, cargo shorts from my dad that I am going to take apart and make a pattern and reconstruct and try to make them look as good or even better than what these looked. So I gotta add the cargo pockets and the back pockets and the front pockets, and I've got the fabric to do that. Me and my dad, we went through the fabrics that I have available, like just a bag that I had basic fabrics in, like my denim fabrics and stuff. And so we went through and I showed him each one, and so we decided which ones we were going to use, and there was like, I think 5 different fabrics that he was okay with. I had a yellow one, like yellow from like Curious George. It's like a very bright yellow, and I'm like, this one would be cool. He's like, no. I'm like, no, you don't want to stand out? He's like, no, that's just not me. I'm like, okay, well. And then my daughter was like, oh, that's so bright, no, type thing. And I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do with it. I need to make myself a yellow coat. She's like, no, it's too bright. I'm like, no, it's perfect. But yeah. So my ideas with this is I am going to do it live video, okay? Even the construction, even like the tear apart. See, you can kind of see here where it's coming apart a little bit. The fabric's wearing out. Well, that's all good, because I'm just going to take them apart, but I want to kind of do like a video step by step, so that if I get confused, I can go back and watch the video and can double check where everything goes. Like, I know where everything would go. I could piece it back together. But, having that video, like, reference point is going to be good for me. Oh, and then I also need I have pocket lining fabric too that I will be using. Because I'm going to make it as close to what they have here. And then the zipper on these, I'll probably take the zipper itself and I will just sew them into the new pair, one of the new pair. Granted, I'll have to have the other zippers for the others, but I have a lot of like small zippers that are for jeans that I can use. See, I knew I was saving up zippers for something. Alright guys, well, that is what I have planned. So I will start that very soon. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Stay creative, and until next time, bye now.